Hey guys, Account Second here, and this is the info video for Season 20 of the NASCAR Pokemon Cup Series. It's probably going to be the last season we use the 2015 car set. By the time we finish this season, I think the 2016 car set will have come out for Town 3, or someone would have probably made a 2016 car set by then. So, after this season, we'll move right into the current 2016 set, if there is one available. Otherwise, I may have to compromise with something, come up with another thing for season 21. But let's not worry about that. I just want to let you guys know this will probably be the last season we use the 2015 car set. Although there are some 2016 paint schemes in this set as a part of a sneak preview of what's probably to come next in the next car set. And yeah, so I wanted to make it more as current as possible, and add some couple paint schemes we don't really use a lot into the series, and make it just like that. So, hope you guys are happy with the paint schemes I've given you for your numbers, and we'll show you every driver in this competing this season. So here we go. Let's show you the drivers that'll be racing for the Season 20 Pokemon Cup Series title. Starts off with the number 1 for Earnhardt Ganassi Racing in the McDonald's All-Day Breakfast scheme is Holden Gluba. Last season he was in the 40 and he was actually dead last in points, I think. So it wasn't a great start for the driver. Now he's on a new team and is looking to be number 1 this season. In a new number and a new team, we'll see if Holden Gluba can win a race. One of the many rookies this season will drive the number 2 representing Miller Lite Retro version and Penske Racing. It's Marquez Lucas Ferrero. Now, some of you guys had long last names, so I had to try to shorten it as much as fitting as possible, because there's a limit to how many characters I could type in a name. Couldn't type every character in your last names in the driver names, so I had to really shorten it a bit to make it more sensible and for me to remember. So Marquez Lucas Ferrero, there's Marquez Ferrero. I hope you're okay with that, because I couldn't fit every character on the driver name, of course. Of course, I had to make some sacrifices. Another rookie will take the number 3, representing RCR in Dow Chemical Machine, is John Andrews. In the new number 3, last season that was driven by Nathan Hudson, and JT Bryant, by the way, drove the number 2 last season. Joseph Shrigley was in the number 1. In the number 4, representing Stewart-Haas Racing, is Philip Goldberg. Last season, Philip was in the number 11, finally getting a couple wins in the series. But he's in a new team this season for Stewart-Haas Racing. Last season, Eric Powers was in the 4. And Goldberg now moves over to Stewart-Haas Racing with the Busch paint scheme. We got the current Busch scheme that they are using actually this season. Last season was another different Busch scheme, but this is the one that they will be using in real life in the Sprint Cup Series in 2016. So this is the real Busch paint scheme. The other was just a fan-made one, but this one is the real deal. And it's going to be racing for the first time here in the series this season. In the number 5 is Jessica Emery. She keeps her ride from last season. She was a finalist in season 19 for Hendrick Motorsports and looks to repeat again. Same goes for Jacob Lawlor in the 6. He keeps his old ride from last season, and also his Roush Fenway Racing Advocare paint scheme. In the number 7, we brought the number 7 back this season, and driving Windows 10, a new sponsor for that car, it's Brandon Nichols. Nichols, by the way, was absent last season. Oh no, he wasn't, I'm sorry. He was in the 15 last season. He has now moved to the 7 with a brand new sponsor and team. In the number 9 is Jerry Guerra, representing Richard Petty Motorsports with a brand new sponsor, Walmart. Zachary Fitzwater, by the way, was in that ride last season. And Jerry Guerra was in the 34 last season, so Guerra makes another transition to a new team, hoping to start anew. Kyle Collins keeps his ride from last season and his paint scheme as well. Stewart-Haas Racing still has Collins, and he hopes to try to make it again, try to be a champion-winning car again. No, try to finally win a championship. Sorry. O'Neal Balvin moves to the number 11 for Joe Gibbs Racing with FedEx Ground. Goldberg, like I said, was in the 11 last season, and Balvin was in the 16 last season. But Balvin now switches teams to Joe Gibbs. Avi Saks, your defending champion from season 19. A new paint scheme, finally, for Germain Racing. Geico Military for season 20. So Saks looks to go back-to-back, just like how John Arnott did before. But Saks trying to become the second back-to-back champion in Pokemon Cup history. William Brock is back in the 14. He keeps his old ride from last season. He's still in Stewart-Haas Racing. Stewart-Haas has kept a couple drivers, but 2 drivers at least, for their team. And so Brock looks to win again after last season. I think he went winless, but he's now back in the 14. Paul Barbour is moved up to the 15 for Michael Waltrip Racing in what's likely going to be their last season here in the Pokemon Cup Series, unless if the 2016 car set has MWR cars, which may or may not happen, but, well, this probably will be likely the last time we see the MWR machines in the series. But we might not be the last we see of the 15 anyway, but still though, MWR might be saying goodbye after this season. But Paul Barbour looks to leave the team out with a bang. Representing 5-Hour Energy Cherry. We brought the Cherry paint scheme back from a couple seasons ago. Barbour, by the way, was in the 32 last season. Isaiah Burniche is back, and he's in the 16 for Roush Fenway Racing. He'll be running the safety clean colors this season. Burniche, by the way, took a couple seasons off, but he is back in action and hopes to get back on the right foot. And the number 17, a rookie for Roush Fenway Racing for Fifth Third Bank, Emanuel Magnussen. Again, obviously, I couldn't fit the entire name in the driver name, so it's just Emanuel Magnus, but still, Emanuel Magnussen, I will try to remember that. In the 18 is Alex Busch for Joe Gibbs Racing. Fitting that a Busch driver is in the 18 for Crispy M&M's. So Alex Busch going to drive the 18 that Kyle Busch drove for the Sprint Cup champion. But there's another new Busch in town. His name is Alex, and he will return to the series. I think he was a driver previously. I think I had a driver named Busch. I think it was Alex Busch in the 18, so it must have been a couple seasons ago, but nevertheless, he's back. Leia Walker, as you know, kept her 19 from last season. She's for Joe Gibbs Racing on behalf of TA2 Racing. She has a new paint scheme for Comcast Business. In the number 20, it's Ryan Kasey for Joe Gibbs Racing. Rock Band Machine is back. Ryan Kasey was another driver that took a couple seasons off, but is now back in action in a new team. Dillon Young in the number 21 for Wood Brothers Racing. Young moved from the 38 from last season into Wood Brothers 21. He said that next season would be his last season in the Pokemon Cup Series, so 21 is pretty a fitting number because that will be his last season, he said. So Dillon looks to go out with a bang in probably his final 2 seasons in the series. JT Bryant is now in the number 22 for Team Penske and Auto Trader, as Luke Walker, I think, took the ride. We'll get to him in a minute. But JT Bryant, he was in the number 2 last season, and now he moves to the 22. He's still in the same team, by the way, but just with a different number. So he's still truthful to Penske by just switching numbers, and he has a new teammate he can work together with. In the number 23, it's Chloe Baker. In the 23 BK Racing We Salute You machine, that scheme was made to honor the military and also with the 13 as well. So a pretty big season for the military representation in for this season. So it was nice for them to represent. And by the way, Baker was in the 18 last season, moving down to the 23, but still has a ride. John Arndt is back in his 24 for Hendrick Motorsports, but he has a new sponsor, Napa Auto Parts. That's the Chase Elliott paint scheme that he'll be using in real life in the 2016 season. And now that scheme will make its Pokemon Cup debut this season. Fetty McDowell is in the 27 this year, representing Richard Childress Racing and Quaker State Menards. Fetty McDowell, by the way, was in the 41 last season. Now he's moved up to 27. Sean Harple is back in his 31 for Richard Childress Racing. And Quicken Loans, by the way, is his sponsor. Harple also took a couple seasons off, and he's also back in the series. Luke Walker, like I said, he moved to a new team, and now he has a brand new sponsor and number 32, for Can-Am Racing and Go Green Racing on behalf of TA2 Racing. So that's his brand new scheme he'll be riding this season. And the 33 for RCR, it's rookie Keon Edington. Another rookie in the 33, as Keon looks to shine bright here in the series. In the 34 is Anthony Lopez, moving to Front Row Motorsports, representing CSX. He was in the 55 for MWR last season. He's now in Front Row. Ryan Acosta is also back in the series. He's in the 38 for Front Row Motorsports. He'll be Lopez's teammate. Acosta, by the way, he took this season off. I'm sorry. He didn't take this season off. He was in the 27 last season. That's now driven by Fetty McDowell. And he's back again. Armando Shazzazz is also back, and he'll be racing the 40 for Snap Fitness. Last season, he was in the 20. Dylan Theroux takes the 41, representing Stewart-Haas Racing. Last season, he was in the 78 for Furniture Row Racing, and now he's moved to Stewart-Haas. Cooper Syron will now be in the 42 for Earnhardt Ganassi Racing, the Target Machine. Syron, by the way, he took this last season off, but he is back again, and he's hoping to win again here in the series. Tony Green is back as well. He's in the 43 for Richard Petty Motorsports. He'll be running U.S. Air Force colors this year. Excuse me. He'll be running Air Force paint scheme this season. Not really a far cry different number for him. He was in the 42 last season. He just moved down a number. But he did move to the legendary 43 by Richard Petty. So, not really a total loss. The 44 is back, and it's going to be driven by Sam Rogers. I think Rogers drove the 44 in the previous seasons. But Sam Rogers is back in the 44 with Phoenix Warehouse as his sponsor. It's probably one of the few cars I have not even used in the series until now. So it'll be nice for Sam Rogers to make his return to the series. He was in the 31 last season, and now he'll be in the 44. We have a new rookie in the 47 for JTG Daughtry Racing. That's Ben Braley. And in the Better Than Burlon machine for a new paint scheme for that team, and a new driver, a new face in that car, it's Ben Braley. In the number 48, representing Hendrick Motorsports, it's back to the original low scheme this season. It's Grayson Acevedo. He's back. And last season, by the way, he was in the 33. He's in the 48. He's in the big time now. Another rookie this season taking the reins of the 51 for H. Scott Motorsports. It is Anthony Buscarino. Buscarino, by the way, I couldn't fit his entire name, so please forgive me if I couldn't fit your name and the driver's name. So I apologize, but I did the best I could. Number 55 will be driven by Webster Zygarde, moving up to the Jansen Michael Waltrip Racing, and again, this will likely be their last season in the Pokemon Cup Series. He was in the 95 last season. The 62 for Premium Motorsports is back, and it'll be driven by Benjamin Miles. Miles last season was in the 21 Wood Brothers machine, and he'll be in the 62 this season for Premium Motorsports. I think on behalf of Richard Childress Racing. A new face in Furniture Row Racing, the number 78. It's Payton Beasley taking over the 78. And once again, another new rookie takes over the 88 of Hedrick Motorsports Exalta, Emmett Juckem. He will be in the 88 Exalta machine as a rookie. In the 95, it's Joseph Shrigley for Levine Family Racing. He was the number 1 last season, and now will be moving down to 95 in a smaller team. But he did get a ride, though. And finally, Pichu will stick his 99, his trademark 99 machine, representing from Roush Fenway Racing on behalf of TA2 Racing. So anyway, that's your drivers for the Season 20 of the NASCAR Pokemon Cup Series. I will have the schedule in the description below. I don't want this video to be too long. So anyway, I will have the schedule in the description below, and all the drivers in case you missed it. In case if you didn't get an understanding of who's going to be in where, that'll all be in the description below. And so will the schedule for it. So hope you guys enjoy Season 20. We'll start soon. This is the Account Second here, and I'll see you later.